Tonight, from Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports.
Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Winston. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Pulled in at the 24. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And this is caught. It's Brown. They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray. This is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. 4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. Here's Winston. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offense coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Gibson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now here's Trenton Gill on to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me and my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Play fake. Murray. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The Cardinals at 7-1 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well, because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Cardinals. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Cardinals are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. To throw is Winston. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Throwing again on second down. Winston. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on a sack.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Now here's Trenton Gill now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams on defense.
There he goes left side. The 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 72 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first-half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And Gibson decides against bringing it out. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Henry running right. A very tough. The Titans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Winston. Got an open man, finds Gibson. And he will have a Titans first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Winston now. That's complete to Traylon Burks. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running left, it's Henry. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From just shy of midfield, Winston. That is caught by Lamb. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 33. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
After the sack on first down, Winston. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And now two problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. 55 yards. Pretty good yards after the catch there on that crossing route. Is a crossing route good for a quarterback because the receiver's coming across his line of vision?
They love those kind of throws. And how many times have you seen any of what we call an in-breaking route? Quarterback really turns it loose, doesn't he? Has a lot more confidence because
and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. The Titans going to go back on offense here late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. A first down throw for Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Winston. He gets this one to Burks. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game, we skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here comes Mr. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, leading out this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. Rolling to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had to do a double take on that one, Brandon.
Time right. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On second down, Nicholas. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Cards take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Tackle made there by Budda Baker. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Running lanes ran a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards to pick up, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Henry. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd 10 coming up here in Nashville. Third quarter action. They'll try to throw now. Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cardinals are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down and 4, Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kevin Byard, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raider, gets the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Cardinals will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself, at this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Winston. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here, and no panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Connor up the middle. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
They run behind center with Connor. Benjamin St. Juste there on the stop.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Touchdown! Hollywood Marquise Brown with career touchdown number 145, tying it with Marcus Allen for 6th on the all-time list. And the Cardinals are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Winston. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing. Winston. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First down. And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout. To the air again with Winston. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Jameis now on first down. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Now Winston. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. But not only is this defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And Gibson decides against bringing it out. Tennessee offense set to go again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Winston. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. On now is the Titans punter, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Cardinals football, Marquise Brown back out now with the Arizona offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 104 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take.
Oh, Connor loses it. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Murray's going to look to throw this thing. That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Winston. He's got a man. It's his fullback. It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll be 2nd down.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Again, it's Winston. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
Zaven Collins,
he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Third and long for Winston. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On now is the Titans punter, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6.
Back to throw it. Murray steps away. And he'll be out right at the 35.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer